Hi guys, I'm Piyush Agarwal and welcome back to my channel. In this is the last video of this series in which we will be completing our bot with the all the and what we were left in the last video was the to remove the duplicate lines. Like there were more than one entries if there are, then we should write only single entry and sum all their fee values. Okay, so let's check it out what we need to do in this. Okay, so in the initialization, get transaction and process transaction, there will be no changes. And as mentioned in the last video, we will be using LINQ queries to solve our last part. So I'm going to close the all applications part. This particular sequence is executed when complete processing is done. So over here, we will just add the last processing part, which is for that I will use another sequence. And here, mm, here what we can write for title, use link to sum up multiple rows, or okay. Now what we can do for this, we need to write a LINQ query which will be useful. So for that, first of all, I'm just using a right line over here, needs to the end, and I will apply a breakpoint on this, and then we will just debug the file. So writing LINQ query is something that I prefer to first test and then write in actual workflow. So as of now, the bot will run as it went in the earlier video. It will hardly take 20 to 24 seconds to complete. And like already you see the speed, 5, 6 transactions, 7 transactions, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now it has reached to the end. So we are using here the immediate window. Immediate window is what we can use to access the variables at runtime, like our output variable. If we write io in output data and press enter, so this particular variable contains the table that we have created for now. Okay, for some reason column 1 is coming over here, that we have to see that what is the reason for that. Okay, and now let's write a query. So LINQ query is something like a SQL query only, using which we can get data, filter it out, sort it out, or do any kind of manipulations. And it's highly preferable when working with data tables. You can think of LINQ query as something which is 10 times faster than any normal query or VB operations. Okay, so its syntax is something like from, like for each in an enumerable, apply some condition like where, and select what you want, something like that. So what we are doing like from row in output dot as enumerable, select row. So for now, if I just enter this particular query just lists out the complete data that we have in an enumerable form. Okay, like this is a collection of data, and for some reason there is an empty array at the end of every value. Hmm. We have to check this. What is this empty array that is coming at the end of each value? Okay, so wait, so what we have to do, like we will write a query from row in, I will just use this. Now what I need to do, I want to group based on their registration number. Grouping is like I will be making if there are two copies, like there are two Aman Anand, so I can check them that if there are two same registration numbers, then they should be grouped as one. Okay, I'm making groups of people, students based on the registration number. So this group by pn equals to row dot item, and its value is something like 1 into group select pn. Let me check if it is works out. Okay, so the query is working. It is grouping us all the registration numbers which are unique in themselves. Okay, now we are going to move further. It has grouped the data. Now I want to get some values, like let the bus equals to, I want from this group, I want to sum the values. So for that I can just use sum, or basically it's group dot sum and function of x, where what is x dot item. Now here I want to define the column number which contains the bus values. So where can I get that? Well, I don't know. So for 1 minute, what we can do, in output data dot columns, and now we can continue with the query. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, x dot sum. So this simply stores the sum of all the bus values into a single variable. Similarly, I will just add the let, instead of bus it will come hostel, and over here it will come as 8, x dot item. Now again let, we have to write tuition, and this value becomes 9. Then let after tuition comes TV, and over here it should be 10. Now after TV we have utility, and this one becomes 11. Let this is gym, the last one. This is 12. Okay, so we have created all the variables. Now what we need, select an array which contains first the serial number, so that we will get like group dot first dot item 0. This way we are, this one is getting us the serial number. Now similarly, 1 represents our roll number, 2 represents our student name, 3 represents our father's name, 4th for program, 5 for contact number, 6 for mail ID, and now our bus, then hostel, then tuition, then TV, then utility, and gym. And one more column we need, that is a total. So for that, what we can do, I will just write total over here for now, and we will create a total variable as well. I know this is a very big query and this is like very most important part of it. But if you just understand how to use link queries, it will be most useful feature, like most useful ability that you would have. Link queries are really awesome, fast, and mostly very great. I'm just writing bus, hostel, tuition, TV, utility, and gym. Okay, last thing. Wait, okay, I think I forgot to copy it. Yeah, wait, I have this written over here only. Don't worry, I will just write it again. Somehow I forgot. From row in output data dot as enumerable group by pn equals to row dot item one into group let then what it was. Give me a minute. I will just instead of writing the complete, I had this written over here already the same thing. So we will just use it better rather than wasting time. So this is the exactly thing what we have written. The only thing is different that we have to convert all the values to CDBL like we have converted during while making the abort for just for confirmation that all the values are converted properly to decimal values. And over here, instead of DT1, it should be in output data. Enter. Okay, at current context cannot change. There is some error in this query. Let me check. So, okay, the values are different. Like over here, it should be 1. Then our bus value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the error over here? Hmm, if I just remove this utility gym. Well, it's difficult to again get this thing. You see, LINQ queries are difficult to understand a little bit. I will just write it again as enumerable group by pn equals to row dot item 1 into group equal group let bus equal group dot sum function of x cdbl x dot item 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, if we just check it, select bus, we are getting the values properly double. Now again let hostel equal group dot sum function x x dot item 8. Okay, again let this is something same. Let's press enter, cannot at current context. So it's giving us some error that select bus. Okay, this is because of this lat only. Okay, so this query is working. Now what I can do, I will fetch the old one that we had written from bus, hostel, I have written. I need from later on. So from here, let's just copy it. Where is that? Where is that? Let's copy this part. Okay. No, 3. Then over here, not required of this. Hostel. Then we have tuition. I saw item 9. Then we have to 10 TV. Then we have utility. Then we have gym. Enter. Okay, the queries are working fine. Now, if we just select all the values, select host bus, then hostel, then tuition, then we have our TV. After TV, we have got utility. Then after utility, we have got gym. Okay, I guess that's it. So we have curly brace and enter. So you see guys, now we are getting a data row of like 6 double values. This is our bus values, then our tuition, then hostel fee, everything we are getting. Now one one more thing that we need are the initial values, the serial number, the first name, the last name. That also we will get using group dot first dot item. Like if I just write 0 dot to string and enter. Cannot at current context. Okay, so there is some issue in this one. So what can I do? Let's check group dot first. Group dot first is a row. Okay, and dot item, column name as string, or this should be, yeah. So if I just announce group dot first dot item 0, this particular value indicates to the first column of the first row of the group. So if there are like 3 MNN, there would be 3 rows. Okay. So group dot first means from this group of 3 rows, you are indicating to the first row, and dot item 0 means the first column of that row. Okay. So similarly, we just want the rest of the columns, the 6 columns that are left. I will just write 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and 6. I guess that's it. Let's run it. Now we have got 13 columns: serial number, registration number, first name, father's name, then the branch, contact number, email, and our fee values. Okay. Now if I just, let's do what? Let's just copy this and save it outside. Okay. So it will be useful to us later. And one more thing is left, like right, one more column, the grand total column is also present in the output data table. So that also we have to create in this LINQ query only. So over here, I will just add another let total equals to bus plus tuition plus hostel plus that TV, then utility plus gym. Okay. And in this, I will just add total and enter. So now it is giving us a sum of all the values also. Cool. So this is our final link query that would be required for us. I hope we have got all the columns. To check that, I will just write again this. So there are 14 columns. Then output is also having 14 columns. Okay. Now let's just stop this. We have got the link query that we required and that will be useful over here. So I will use a for each over here, and in this link query will come as it is. Okay, and its output will be a system.data.data row. Data, only wait. Let it be an object, and now we will use an add data row activity, and over here an item will come. Okay, it says object to one dimensional array of objects. Okay, so let's convert it to system.data.data row. Maybe we have forgot to do one thing. We have to convert it to list also. For that, this dot to list. Okay, now this is converted to list, item to one dimensional array. And if I just convert it to object again and call it item. Okay, still some error. Let me check. Okay, so to solve this, if we see simply, this array row is requires an arrays of objects to be added to the data table. Okay, and in this link query, if you see at the end, what we are creating, we have created an object array. Select and curly braces. Then there are multiple objects and curly brace four. So that is an array of objects. So if I just convert this argument to array of object. Okay, and now over here we type item. That should solve our problem. Now in data table, the data table is our output data table. So for that I will have to create another one. In the earlier data table, we have a like column one is coming, that we have to check why that column one is coming, or what we can do if we don't get that thing. Let me show you. So here another, I am creating a variable output data table equals to in output data dot clone, just convert it data type to system dot data table, final data table output. Then we need to change the column name from column 1 to something else. So change the last column name. So how will we do that? Output data table dot columns, then column name is like column 1 dot column name equals to grand total. Okay, And now over here, I just assign it output data table. Now, once this is done for all the LINQ queries, let's just change this, iterate, and remove duplicate rows, or instead of remove, should be merge duplicate rows. Okay, and for verification, what we can do, let's add and comment, and in this, this doesn't look good. Leave it. We will be saving this in an output text file only with us, so that in future if we want to change this, then we can directly change it in the text file and just copy paste it over here. Okay, and I will just write an annotation in this to change the link query. Please use the link.txt file for ease of development. Location documents. Okay, add data to final, add data to output table. Now we will use a write range workbook over here. Workbook path would be from the config file. So we will again go to our data, open the config file, create another variable, output file path, and output file sheet name. Okay, so that our customer, whatever kind of sheet name he wants, he can get that. So our input is somewhat like this only instead of this, it should be output. Okay, and file path can be output.xlsx, and sheet name would be output. Its description would be the path of the output file, the sheet name of the output file. Okay, so we are done with this. Before closing, let's copy this in the bot. Okay, so here we don't have as of now in config. I will just call it out in config, and its data type is system.collections. By default, the config is not present in this one because it's like in general we use this and the exit state just for closing all the applications that were in use, but we can use it as per, like we can reconfigure it as per our needs. Okay, it's no something like static. We can always be dynamic. That's it. The settings, dictionary variable. Okay, I will save it, and in the main I will import and select config. Again save, close all applications over here. Now in config, output file path dot toString, and over here also in config we will copy the sheet name from workbook dot toString, and our data table is output data table. Save the process data. Guys, I guess we are completed with our bot. So let's do a final test if it's working, or probably some errors are there still that we have to fix. Okay, so let's just debug and see what happens. Let me dock it back. So transaction number 0 done, 1 done, second is done, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, finishing. Okay, now if I just refresh it, got the output file. Okay, we just forgot to add the headers, but we have got all our values, and even the Aman Anand is just single times it came, so it's up to almost perfect. I will just go to end process, close all application, and over here use add headers. Okay, now again, this time I will just run it. So bot started and ended. How much time did it took? 4 seconds. Okay, so this time we have got the grand total also, and the bus fee. This is cool. Let's check if the values are proper or not. I will use a calculator. If there are still some bugs are left or errors are there, we can fix them out. 54,000 plus 24375 plus 7500 85875. Cool. So the values are proper. Or another way, if you want to just check, what you can do, press equals to, then, or I will just write it over here, equals to h2 plus I2 plus J2 plus K2 plus L2 plus M2, and enter. And now if you just do it like this, you see by Excel has itself checked all our values are correct. Awesome. So that's it, guys. This is the, I guess, okay, before ending I will just show you one more thing. Cool. Like from the starting I have been saying that we can add any number of. Now let's just guys try one more thing, that there are few columns over here that are not in the dictionary. Okay, like other, we can try to add this column also inside our bot, and let's see how much dynamic our bot can be, how easy it can be to add different things. So let's open the documents folder. We will go to data and input, now dictionary format. In after gem, I will just add a other keyword. Then in the output data table format, let's also open this. Over here also, I will write other fee, same 1.01 I can write. Okay, save. Okay, this is done. Then we need to change the LINQ query also. So I will go over here again. And where is the LINQ query? LINQ query is present in the documentation folder. So I will just open this. I need to add it the other feature. For that, like over here, I will just copy this part and paste it over here. Now let's go, instead of gym, let's call it other, and instead of 12 just it be 13, and over here an other keyword can be added, and other over here. Now copy this and replace it over here. Okay, this is done. Next, we're in the process table. Here, add required data. We have to add the other over here also, like after gym, we will just write cdbl in feed dictionary, other, click on OK, and let's check. I guess that's it. Let's see if there are any errors, and we will just remove this config output file from here and debug it. Cross fingers, hope it works. So this time admission and alumni are left only. It is taking the other values inside. Okay, so an error has came that cannot create a left value from the given expression with property column name because the target object is null. Because the target object is null. Okay, so it may be possible that there is no more column 1 is there. If I just write output data table other fee dot columns. Okay, now that was might be some kind of error because of which we were getting a column 1. Now there is just an other fee column is there. Okay, so let's fix this. It's very simple to fix. We have to go to activities, use add data row. No, add column. There is something like in data table. Mm, add data column, add data row. Can I add a data column? What is this? Input data column that is appended to the column collection, column name, and data table. A data column object that is to be appended. Okay, so if I just give it over here grand total, and over here I get output data table, allow data variable, auto increment, default value, max length, unique, type of argument is double. So I will go over here, system dot double, add grand total column. Okay, now I don't need this, and add data row. That's the same. Now again, if I test it, the killing process is done. Opening applications. You guys remember, right? In the killing process, we are killing the Excel by default if it's open in the backend. Hmm. Now this is the moment of test. If it works, yes, it worked great. Now let's check the file. So we were easily able to add the other fee as well. And you see the grand total increased. So if I just check my input file now, let's call the input file. Okay. So there are few more values like admission fees there, alumni fees also there. They cost around like 1000. So that is also a requirement which is like which was not in the exactly in the problem, but we need to add it. Okay, so I guess guys that you can think of the task, you can do it yourself. I guess after adding the other fee it's very easy to add as many number of columns you require, and you can get the data. Okay, hope you guys like these videos. And okay, wait, there are too many zeros. I will again check before ending. I want this video to be like very useful to you all. So just check. Uh, in actual, there is no gym fee over here. That's why that column is particularly zero. Okay, and there is gym fee in the at the end, so it contains the value. So we are all perfect. The bot is working fine. And if you guys like this video, really, this is the end. So do like, share, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if there are if you feel like we can do this more better way, there is some good more good way to do this same task, we can apply that. And if you get any kind of doubt, do let me know. Okay, hope you like this video and this use case. Soon, maybe next week I will be coming with another use case, and we will be building it similarly again from scratch. Okay, you can, and for the material I will upload this data on my GitHub and you can access that. If you need any kind of help or review, do let me know. If you can get stuck anywhere, my LinkedIn URL is always present in the description, and you can also comment on my channel. Hope you guys loved it. Thank you and see ya.